Well, when it comes to closing a group, it's interesting because I've had a few small groups this year and this semester actually, and they've actually ended. I'm starting one other small one before testing, but overall, most of the groups have ended. And I had really different experiences with my two groups. I had one group, and it makes sense after I read this and started thinking about it and reflected. It really made sense why this happened, but I had one group that met, we scheduled to meet for 6 weeks, and we met a couple times, and we had to miss a couple times, and we met once a week, and it was not very consistent. Either I was out for a meeting or some crisis came up, but for some reason, we did not meet consistently. We met the 6 times, but it was over a much longer period of time. And it was all second grade boys, and they would come to me when I didn't have them and say, what happened? What happened? And I had to explain it to them, and I had told them from the very beginning that things do happen, but that I would see them 6 times, but it was kind of difficult for them. The other group I had happened to be 3rd grade. It was 2 boys and 2 girls, and for whatever reason, I guess maybe because it was later in the day or after lunch, but for whatever reason, I saw them for 6 weeks in a row consistently, and they knew from the beginning that it was going to be for 6 weeks. And as we got closer, we talked about that next week was our last meeting, and the week after that would be our, and then the next week we talked about that was our last meeting, and we did a closure activity, did a little community project in our school, so I felt like we had some closure, and they seemed to end it pretty well. The other group, we did some activities the last day, but it just I didn't feel real good about the closure, although I really couldn't meet with them anymore. I have met one-on-one with a couple of them just with some issues, but I really couldn't meet with the group anymore, and just for time. But I feel like that did not end very well, and I feel like it was because it was more inconsistent. The anxiety I feel about when a group ends is just that, I don't know if what we did as a group made a difference. I don't know if they just got out of class and they just like spending time with me or with the other students. And I know that you can tell with data later on, and you can tell when you ask teachers how they're doing and that sort of thing. But when a group ends, that's what my fear is, or my anxiety is that I'm just not sure if we met our goals. Do we do what we set out to accomplish to do? So that's really been that's the biggest anxiety with ending a group and knowing when to end. My 1st grade group, we met 4 weeks in a row, and I felt that was a good amount of time, and we had a goal each week, and so they knew that the 4th week that was our ending goal. But again, I think the group that I had the most inconsistency with was the one that I felt did not have good closure, and I felt they didn't feel that it was right. Another worry as a leader is I want to be structured, but I want to be flexible, so it's a fine line of which way to go. So those are some things that I worry about as far as closing a group.